Thanks for that, Suzanne. I'd also like to begin by acknowledging a group of Australians in society who have also experienced the harmful and negative effects of marginalisation and stigma. And I'm of course referring to the Aboriginal custodians of the land upon which we're gathered today. In Aboriginal culture, the transfer of knowledge, and indeed the development of new ideas and perspectives, was facilitated through storytelling. And today, on the International Day Against Homophobia, I'd like to share with you my story of homophobia in high school. As a prepubescent boy, I had no idea about my sexuality, and I was more interested in building ant colonies, collecting cicada shells, and learning how to do long division than I was in my sexuality or my sexual orientation. I knew what gay and homosexual meant because my uncle was gay, but as a child, I just accepted this. I didn't question his sexuality or consider it to be any grounds for me to look at him in any way other than simply my uncle. After all, he was a kind, generous, and funny guy. Why would anyone have a problem with him or with his boyfriend for that matter? It wasn't until I started high school that things started to go pear-shaped. Other people in my class said that I was gay, but they didn't say the word gay with the same neutral connotation that I associated with the word as a child. In fact, they started using different words, which somehow injected hatred, disgust, and repulsion into a fundamental component of my being, my sexuality. At this stage, I was only just beginning to consider my sexuality. I didn't know if I was gay or straight or anything in between. But as a Year 7 student, my classmates seemed certain about two things. One, that I was in fact gay, and two, that this gave them the right to subject me to verbal abuse on a daily basis. Needless to say, I hated high school. Every morning when I woke up, the first thing that came across my mind was, is it going to stop today? Unfortunately for me, things got worse before they got better. My mental health became significantly affected, and after a few months of absences, I dropped out of school amid Year 10. I got a job in a department store, and I spent the next first few years drifting and wandering about trying to understand the questions of who I was and what that meant. Luckily, I had some really amazing role models in my life that helped me get back on track. When I finally told my mum that I was gay, it turned out that she was actually really supportive. She even stopped going to the dogmatic church that she was going to, choosing to support me, her gay son, rather than accept homosexual persecution. The GASP program, led by Suzanne, was also a really great support. This gave me the opportunity to engage with other normal people who had been subjected to the same marginalisation as myself. I've made some new amazing friends who just think of me as Luka, and in the same non-judgmental way that I thought of my uncle when I was a child. Fast forward 5 years, and here I am today. I'm in the final year of my Bachelor of Nursing degree here at Deakin, but my thirst for knowledge hasn't yet been quenched. The decision to resume my education can be grossly understated as something that I have not and never will regret. It's hard for me to articulate the feeling of emancipation and pride that I feel in standing here today as a university student and speaking at an event like this. Whilst my story is one that's taken me on a fairly rough ride, at the end of the day, I've come out on the other side of it, and I'm now looking ahead to plan at what I want to make of the future. Unfortunately, some people aren't as lucky as me, and as Suzanne mentioned before, about 30% of gay teenagers attempt suicide, which is perhaps the most illustrative and understated effect of homophobia. It's therefore with pride and enthusiasm that I would like to thank you for participating in this symbolic day here at Deakin University. By recognising IDAHO Day, we are actively challenging discrimination and collectively rejecting the injustice of homophobia. Thank you.